This video will cover the construction steps for a vertical twin-size bed, the vertical double-size bed, and the queen vertical size bed. Refer to the construction guide that came with your kit while watching this video. Your easy DIY Murphy bed can be constructed out of plywood or particle board. But always remember the basic safety rules of woodworking. The first step in building your easy DIY Murphy bed is to cut all the wood to the dimensions listed in your cutting guide and items list handbook. Don't forget to wear the proper hearing protection, gloves, and of course safety goggles. You can easily cut the wood yourself if you have a circular saw or a table saw. However, having a saw is not necessary because most of the major hardware stores in your area offer wood cutting services. When shopping for the wood at your local hardware store, remember to check the wood to avoid warped panels and solid wood pieces. Not cutting the wood correctly would definitely cause problems during the construction process. So double check all your measurements carefully. After you get all the wood cut, we recommend that you label all the wood parts so that you can easily keep track of the different parts as you build your easy DIY Murphy bed. You can use painting tape or labels from the dollar store to easily label the wood pieces as shown here. Refer to section 2, page 6 of your construction guide when marking all the wood pieces. We recommend that you apply veneer or melamine edging tape to the following bed parts to give them a finished professional look. Refer to section 3, page 7 of your construction guide when applying the edging tape. To apply edging tape to your wooden parts, you will require the following tools. 2 rolls of veneer edging tape if you are building your bed entirely out of plywood. 2 rolls of melamine edging tape matching the finish of your particle board if you decide to build your bed out of particle board material. An X-Acto knife. A small wooden block. Use a scrap piece from the frame struts. 1 sheet of sandpaper. We recommend around 180 or 200 grade. An edging trimmer, which you can buy from your local carpenter shop or hardware store. And lastly, you will need a regular household iron to apply the edging tape to the edges of the wooden parts. Start by cutting a piece of edging tape that is slightly longer than the edge of the wood that you are applying the edging to. Snap off the piece of edging tape from the roll. You can also use the scissors to cut the edging tape. Now center the edging tape on the top of the wooden edge as you see here. Grab your iron and run it along while applying firm downward pressure. It is best to do 1 to 2 feet at a time, alternating between the iron and the wooden block. Run your wooden block on your edging tape while applying firm downward pressure. After you are done applying the edging tape, use an X-Acto knife to trim off the ends of the edging tape, as you see here. Then use your edging trimmer and run it along the edge of the wood to trim away the excess edging tape. You may want to practice on a scrap piece of wood if you've never applied edging tape before. For all the plywood bed frame parts, use veneer edging tape. Use the same steps as shown here to apply the veneer tape to all the plywood parts. Read all instructions on the packaging that came included with your edging tape for proper temperature settings. In most cases, you will need to set your iron to the cotton temperature setting. When using veneer tape, you may use sandpaper to finish off the edges after you trim them with the edging trimmer. You may also use sandpaper on melamine edging tape. However, be careful not to scratch the surface of the edging tape. We recommend you angle your sanding block at 45 degrees on the edge of the wooden part that you are sanding. Start by placing the cabinet top bottom, part G, on your working surface. Now grab your two cabinet top solid wood sides and place them on the ends of the cabinet top bottom. Make sure the edges of the cabinet top sides are flush with the cabinet top bottom. Run a bead of wood glue along the edge of the cabinet top bottom and the edge of the solid wood side piece. Now place the side piece back on the cabinet top bottom and use wood clamps to clamp the two pieces together while making sure the edges are flush. At this point, you may use a damp cloth to wipe off any excess wood glue. Mark and measure for equally spaced pencil marks on the top edge of your side piece. Do the same for the other side. Use a 1/8 inch drill bit to drill about 2 inches deep through the side piece. Do this where you place the 4 pencil marks. Use 4 number 8 2-inch wood screws to attach the cabinet side piece to the cabinet top bottom. Make sure all your screws are flush. Remove your wood clamps and repeat the same steps for the other side of the cabinet top bottom. To attach the cabinet top rear to the back of the cabinet top, start by measuring and marking, according to page 9 of your construction guide, along the bottom edge of your cabinet top solid wood rear piece. Run a bead of wood glue along the edge of the cabinet top bottom before you attach the cabinet top rear. Make sure the bottom edge and the two ends of the cabinet top rear are flush with the cabinet top bottom. Use a 1/8 inch drill bit to drill through the cabinet top rear into the cabinet top bottom, approximately 2 inches deep. Drive one number 8 2-inch wood screw into each end of the cabinet top rear to secure it in place. Now proceed to drive the remaining number 8 2-inch wood screws. Mark and measure 1 5/8 from the finished edge of the cabinet top stopper part GB. Using a ruler, run a pencil line where you placed your pencil marks. Now use a scrap piece of 1x2 left over from your frame struts and place it on the end of the cabinet top stopper to mark your 3/4 inch spacing. Run a bead of wood glue along the narrow edge of the cabinet top bracket part GD. Now place the cabinet top bracket on the cabinet top stopper, aligning it with a pencil line as shown here. Check to make sure the cabinet top bracket has the exact 3/4 inch spacing on each end. Use 2 wood clamps to clamp the 2 pieces together. Measure and mark a 1 1/8 inch pencil line along the front of the cabinet top stopper part GB. Measure from the unfinished edge. This line is to help you drill your pilot holes. Now measure and mark according to page 12 of your construction guide. Drill where you place the 6 pencil marks using a 1/8 drill bit. Drill 2 inches deep. Use number 8 2-inch wood screws to attach the 2 pieces together. Make sure the screws are flush with the wood. Now grab your cabinet top front part GA and place it on the front of the cabinet top stopper, while making sure the 2 unfinished edges are flush with each other, as well as the 2 ends. Now clamp the 2 pieces together while making sure the edges are flush. Use a piece of 3/4 inch 1x2 scrap wood and make sure the 3/4 inch spacing between the 2 finished edges of the cabinet top stopper and the cabinet top front is correct. Drill 4 pilot holes using a 1/8 inch drill bit. Drill 1 inch deep on the inside of the cabinet top stopper. Attach the 2 pieces together using 1 1/4 inch number 8 wood screws. You may use masking tape to mark your drill bit for the proper drilling depth. Now place the finished cabinet top front piece on your cabinet top bottom. You may use some 1x2 wooden spacers to set up your cabinet top bottom. Now measure and mark according to page 12 of your construction guide. Do not attach the 2 finished components together until you get to the assembly stage of your easy DIY Murphy bed. Start with your left cabinet side and lay it on your working surface with the inner side facing up. Measure and mark the mounting location for the upper stud plate according to the dimensions on page 13 of the construction guide. This step is very important. Refer to page 13 of your construction guide for the proper mounting dimensions depending on the kind of wood you are using for the face panel. Using a 5/8 diameter Forstner drill bit, drill 1/4 inch deep on the inner side of the cabinet panel. Do the same for the lower male pivot plate. Insert the stud on the back of the upper stud plate into the 5/8" hole. Use the carpenter's square to set up the upper stud plate on the cabinet side panel. Then mark the 4 holes on the upper plate with a pencil as you see here. Using a 1/8" drill bit, drill 1/2 inch deep through the 2 upper holes of the stud plate. Use 2 number 12 3/4 inch wood screws and drive them into the 2 pilot holes you drilled through the holes on the upper stud plate. Using a 1/4 inch drill bit, drill all the way through the cabinet side through the 2 lower holes on the upper stud plate. Insert the stud on the back of the male pivot plate into the 5/8" hole. Press the plate down until it is firmly seated on the cabinet panel. Use your carpenter's square to set up the male pivot plate. Now mark the 4 holes on the lower stud plate with your pencil. You should place a scrap piece of wood under the cabinet side panel to protect your working surface. Use a 1/8" drill bit to drill 1/2 inch deep through the lower 2 holes on the male stud plate. Now drive 2 number 12 3/4 inch wood screws into the pilot holes to secure the plate in place. Use a 1/4 inch drill bit and drill completely through the cabinet side panel. Do this for the 2 upper holes. Now flip the cabinet side over. And then use a 3/8" drill bit to drill 1/2 inch deep into the existing 1/4 inch holes. And now insert 2 cap nuts into the 2 holes. It is a good idea to place masking tape over the cap nuts to prevent them from falling out. Also drill 1/2 inch deep into the 2 1/4 inch holes on the lower male stud plate. Again, insert 2 cap nuts into the 3/8" holes and apply masking tape to keep them in place. After you flip the cabinet side over, insert 2 number 12 3/4 inch machine screws into the upper 2 holes of the male stud plate. Tighten the screws and then use a 3/16 Allen key to fully tighten the cap nuts. Follow the same steps to mount the upper plate and the lower plate on the other cabinet side panel. Place the left frame side rail on your working surface with the inner side facing up. Measure and mark according to the dimensions on page 15 of your construction guide. Using a 3/4 inch spade bit, drill all the way through the frame side rail. Now insert the 3/4 inch tube on the lower stud plate into the 3/4 inch hole on the bed frame side rail. The top edge of the frame side rail should be flush with the top edge of the plate. Use a scrap piece of solid wood left over from your frame struts and use it to check the spacing between the end of the bed frame side and the edge of the plate. The spacing between the two should be 3/4 inch. This is where the bed frame header part B is going to be mounted. Use your pencil and mark all the 7 holes on the lower stud plate. Using a 1/8 drill bit, drill 1/2 inch deep through the 5 holes on the lower stud plate. Now drive 5 number 12 3/4 inch wood screws into the 5 pilot holes. Do not over tighten the screws. Using a 1/4 inch drill bit, drill through the 3 holes all the way through the bed frame side rail. Flip the bed frame side rail over on your working surface and use a 3/8 drill bit to drill 1/2 inch deep into the 3 holes. Insert 3 cap nuts into the 3 holes. Now flip the bed frame side rail over again and insert 3 number 12 3/4 inch machine screws into the cap nuts. After you are done tightening all the screws, use a 3/16 Allen key to fully tighten all the cap nuts. Repeat all the steps for the right frame side rail. Measure and mark according to the dimensions on page 18 of your construction manual. Mark on the footer end of the bed frame side rail part D. Using a 3/8 inch drill bit, drill a 1/4 inch deep into the bed frame side rail on the pencil mark. Grab the proper bed leg and insert the stud on the back of the mounting plate into the 3/8 inch hole. This edge of the mounting plate should be flush with the end of the frame side. There should also be a 1/4 inch spacing between the top edge of the mounting plate and the top edge of the frame side rail. Mark all 4 holes using a pencil, and then use a 1/4 inch drill bit to drill all the way through the bed frame side. Do this for all 4 holes. Now flip the frame side over and using a 3/8 inch drill bit, drill 1/2 inch deep into all 4 holes. Insert 4 cap nuts into the 4 holes. You may want to use masking tape to hold the cap nuts in place until the assembly of your bed. Repeat all the same steps to mount the hardware on the other cabinet side rail. The inner bed frame of your Murphy bed is constructed out of solid wood. Use 1x2s available from your local hardware store or lumber store. Refer to the gutting guide and items list for cutted dimensions of the inner bed frame. After you have cut all the wood pieces required to construct the inner bed frame, start by assembling 6 frame struts. Run a bead of wood glue along one of the narrow edges of the frame strut piece. Join the 2 pieces together, resembling an L. Now clamp each end of the frame strut pieces after making sure both ends are flush with each other. Measure and mark equally spaced pencil marks according to page 20 of your construction guide. Use a 1/8 drill bit to drill 2 inch deep through the frame strut where you place your pencil marks. Now drive the number 8 2-inch wood screws according to page 20 of your construction guide. Now repeat the same steps until you have constructed 6 frame struts. Grab the 2 solid wood bed frame sides and clamp them together while checking to make sure that the ends are flush with each other. Measure and mark along the top of the 2 bed frame sides according to the dimensions specified on page 21 of the construction guide. Note that these dimensions will be different for each bed size. The pencil marks will be used to align the frame struts with the inner frame sides. Grab the 6 completed frame struts and start by laying them out on your working surface. Run a small amount of wood glue to each end of the frame struts as you join them with the frame sides. Mark 2 small pencil marks on the side of the frame side where you are going to secure the 2 pieces together. Use a 1/8 drill bit and drill 2 inch deep through the bed frame side into the frame struts. Now drive 2 number 8 2-inch wood screws into the pilot holes to secure the frame strut to the inner bed frame side. Repeat these steps until you have attached all 6 frame struts to the 2 bed frame sides. Place the finished inner bed frame on the floor or on top of your working table. Grab the bed frame header part B and place it on one of the ends of the inner bed frame. Make sure the ends of the bed frame header are flush with the inner bed frame. Also check underneath the bed frame to make sure it is flush with the frame header. Use 2 wood clamps to clamp the frame header to the bed frame. Measure and mark equally spaced pencil marks according to page 22 of your construction guide. Using a 1/8 drill bit, drill 1 inch deep through the inner bed frame into the frame header, where you place the 4 pencil marks. Be careful not to drill all the way through the frame header. Then drive the required number of number 8 1¼ inch long wood screws into the pilot holes on the bed frame to secure the bed frame header. Now remove the 2 wood clamps and proceed to attach the frame footer, part C, to the inner bed frame using the same steps that you used to attach the bed frame header. Place the bedside rail on the side of your inner bed frame, and then make sure both ends of the bed frame rail are flush with the frame header and the frame footer, as well as underneath. Use 2 wood clamps to secure the bedside rail to the inner bed frame. Now place 2 pencil marks on the header end of the bed frame side rail. Now use a 1/8 drill bit and drill 2 inch deep through the bed frame side into the frame header. Do the same on the footer end of the bed frame side rail. Drive 2 number 8 2 inch long wood screws to secure the bed frame side rail to the bed frame footer and the frame header. Now place 2 equally spaced pencil marks on the inside of the bed frame between the 2 frame struts. Using a 1/8 drill bit, drill 1 inch deep through the bed frame into the bed frame side rail. Be careful not to drill all the way through the bed frame rail. Drive 10 number 8 1¼ inch wood screws through the 10 pilot holes in the bed frame side rail to attach it to the inner bed frame. Remove the 2 wood clamps and use the same steps to attach the other bedside frame rail to the inner bed frame. Start by placing both face panels parts I on a flat working surface or on a protected floor. Make sure the good side is facing down on your working surface, and also make sure that both unfinished edges of the face panels are facing each other. For a twin-size bed, you will have a single face panel. The measurements, however, will be the same. Now measure and mark a reference line ½ inch from the finished edge of the face panel. Repeat for the other face panel. Then, using a 1x2 scrap piece of solid wood, place it flush with the finished edge of the face panel and use it as a ruler to mark your line. Repeat for the other face panel if you are building a double or queen size bed. Now push both face panels together until there is no gap between them along the unfinished edge. This is only required for double and queen size beds. Use a ruler to finish marking the ½ inch reference lines along the outer finished edges of both face panels. Also use a ruler to finish marking your 3/4 inch reference line. You should now have 3 reference lines on your face panels. Use construction adhesive to run a bead along each of the frame struts, as well as both the inner bed frame sides. After you have applied construction adhesive to the inner bed frame, slowly lower the inner bed frame on top of the face panels on the floor. Now proceed to align the bed frame with the pencil marks on the face panels. The bed frame must be within the 3 reference pencil lines. This will also apply for a twin-size bed. Now use a 1x2 scrap piece of solid wood and place it on the 3/4 inch edge of the face panels to make sure the spacing between the bed frame and the edge of the face panel is exactly 3/4 inch. The face panels may extend past the header end of the inner bed frame up to 1/8 of an inch. This step is important. Use number 8 1¼ inch wood screws if you are building your bed entirely out of plywood material. For particle board construction, use 1 inch number 8 wood screws. Use the following sequence to secure the inner bed frame to the face panels if you are building a double or queen size bed. Start by driving the screws into sections marked A and then proceed to sections marked B. Now check to make sure your bed frame is aligned with the pencil marks on the face panels, and then proceed to drive the screws into sections marked C. Again, check your bed frame to make sure it is straight on the pencil lines, and then drive the screws into sections marked D. For a twin-size bed, drive the screws into sections marked A and then sections marked B. Refer to page 25 of the construction guide. Now drive the rest of the screws approximately 9 to 10 inches apart into the inner bed frame struts to secure them to the face panels, while continuously checking to see if the bed frame is aligned with the pencil marks on the face panels. You may choose to mount the bed handles horizontally or vertically on the face panels. We recommend mounting the handles 19 inches from the top edge of the face panels. However, you may want to customize this measurement as long as you clear the frame struts behind the face panels. There are many types of handles available, so feel free to use the ones that best match your bed finish and room decor. However, before you drill, into the face panels, double check the mounting dimensions of your handles to make sure you mark and measure the correct measurements before you drill into the face panels. Simply slide both mattress support panels onto the bed frame. For a twin-size bed, you will have a single mattress support panel. Use number 8 1 1/4 inch wood screws to secure the mattress support panels to the inner bed frame. Drive screws every 10 to 12 inches until the mattress supports are properly secured to the bed frame. For the leg crossbar, you may use any round or square wooden rod of your choice. Refer to page 28 of your construction manual for the proper length of your crossbar. You may use a spade bit that is the same size as the diameter of your crossbar to create a better fit around the leg of your Murphy bed. This will make it easier to install it at the end of the bed assembly. Use the proper drill bit and pilot a center hole on both ends of your crossbar. The optional kick panel component consists of the bracket, part K, and the front piece, part J. Join the two pieces, parts J and K, together resembling an L. Now use two wood clamps to clamp the ends of the two pieces to hold them together to make them ready for drilling. Measure and mark 4 equally spaced pencil marks on the kick panel bracket. Use a 1/8 inch drill bit and drill 2 inches deep through the kick panel bracket. Do this where you place the 4 pencil marks. Now use 4 number 8 2-inch long wood screws to secure the bracket to the kick panel front, part J. Now remove the 2 clamps. Your kick panel is now complete, ready to be installed during the assembly of your Murphy bed.